Hi, my name is Brett Kelley. I'm the Curator of Collections here at the National Civil War Museum. Today I'd like to talk to you about one of the uniforms in our collection. It's a really unique piece, something that belonged to somebody fairly famous that you might recognize the name. This is a Captain's Infantry Frock Coat. And this was used by Captain Ives of the 23rd New York State Militia. Now, this was a high quality coat. It wasn't a regular Army issue type coat. It was actually made by Brooks Brothers of New York, a fairly famous clothing maker back then and even today. They still exist today. Now, Captain Ives was a unique officer because before the war, he was involved in making lithographs, lithograph prints, before and after the war, actually. Some of them are fairly famous for their Christmas scenes we may be familiar with today, but back then during the war, they did scenes of different battles of the war and different famous personalities of the war. Captain Ives, being the captain of Company D of the 23rd New York State Militia, was sent to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania in 1863 during the Gettysburg Campaign. Basically sent here to help protect the city. He was stationed up at Fort Couch, up on the heights of Lemoyne, just across the river from Harrisburg. This photograph here shows members of Company D, and this is Captain Ives right here in the middle, and he's actually wearing this coat. Captain Ives, later of the famous Currier and Ives, actually did a lithograph print of this scene. A variation of this scene after the war. So that's something that is really quite interesting. He and his troops weren't actively engaged during the battle at Gettysburg, but they were instrumental in making sure that the city was protected for that very near Confederate invasion of Harrisburg. So a very nice coat, a high quality coat, worn by a captain who was definitely what would be considered famous during the Civil War. Okay. Thanks for listening, and if you enjoyed this talk, please subscribe to the National Civil War Museum's YouTube channel. Thanks very much.